What is going on YouTube? It's your boy Jeffo coming at you with another video. And I hope everybody's doing well. I hope everybody's been chasing their dreams. Everybody's been doing everything they need to do in this good fight of becoming successful and achieving your goals. There's a lot of obstacles and there's a lot of emotion, distractions that come with this. But what I will say is, I think for whatever you need to do, if it's worth becoming, it's all worth it. You know what I mean? Everything that you go through will be another badge on your shoulders or on your chest on achieving your goals. Now, through the battles of becoming great and, achieving goals for myself, it has a lot of hardships with it. I mean, there's a lot of obstacles that I didn't see that I had to overcome on the way to becoming. And I will say it's very taxing on the mind, it's very taxing on the body, it's very taxing on the spirit as well, because, day in and day out, you got to go through a whole bunch of stuff. And it does become worth it. It is worth it. Sidebar, I think I might switch these speaking topics to another channel solely because I don't think this is the right place. Like, this channel, when I started it, it was more so for workout videos, basketball videos, things that stay active within the thing. But as time goes by, I think things have changed for the better. Hold on. I think this is a little too loud. Hold on. But yeah, I think this channel has its niche, and the niche is not for me to be giving you motivational speeches or giving you a life journey. So I think I might have to go ahead and start another channel to more so talk about the journey, but I will still finish the whole process of what it is, right? And one of the things that I do want to do is always grow, right? It's always to grow and to never stay stagnant, to achieve things that I didn't think was possible, to, prove the younger self right. That you can become what you want to become, right? And that the process itself is the fun part. Once you do achieve it, that is when it becomes, a little bit boring. Not only boring, but it also, you've achieved your goal, so now you have to go through another one, right? For this channel, I think I was speaking about me going through the process of, becoming and getting into the military, right? My journey started with 8 years ago. 8 years ago, I tried to get into the military, more specifically the Air Force, and things did get in the way, and things happened to where I wasn't able to get in. And in the military, they call this being disqualified, right? Really, for those 8 years, it was very damaging because, that's what I wanted to be. That was one of the things that I wanted to be. And, not achieving something that you want to so bad, it does not only humble you, but it also, makes you feel bad. It puts a wrench in your plans. So my whole 8 years, I have learned, I've been through a lot of things. There's things that I did achieve in the good part, so it wasn't all bad. But, achieving what I really, really wanted, I couldn't do at that point. So I had to, make things work, go through a whole bunch of obstacles, but I also learned a lot through it, right? So learned a lot. Then a couple months ago, I went and retried, and it was also with the Air Force in the beginning, but I wasn't able to get in because of other things that, other decisions that I did make. Nothing too drastic, but there are rules and regulations that the Air Force does go by, and if you don't go by that, then you're not able to. So another deterrent went into that, another discouragement, another obstacle, and I had to really rely on what I learned throughout my time to be able to move past that and be able to still move forwards, right? Because that's a lot of times people do not talk about, is when obstacles get in your way, to be able to still move forwards when you don't have that emotional strength to be able to go through your strategic ways and stuff like that. And through life, I've learned that there's going to be a lot of obstacles, and you can't really rely on that said just emotion, right? So I had to understand that it probably wasn't the right thing for me. So I then went to the Army, which was what I only knew about the military when I was younger. I also knew about the Marines, but that was more so later. But when I was younger, I only knew what the Army was. So went into the Army, went through the whole process. If you watched a couple videos back, I wasn't able to take my first ASVAB because of complications that did happen. So I had to come back. Another deterrent, another thing, but I didn't give up. I actually took a little break because I needed a mental break after going through 2 back-to-back things of where I was like, I couldn't get in. I had to, recoup. And when I did recoup, I randomly got a call from another recruiter, and he did tell me, come by, and we're gonna make things work. Gonna figure out how things do. So, me being through, a lot of stuff, I kind of was reluctant because I wasn't really trying to get my heart broken, but something inside of me was like, nah, you gotta keep going, stick to the plan, and if it's meant to be, it's going to happen. So stuck to the plan, listened to him, did everything that he told me to do, went and actually took my ASVAB. I actually posted that on here. Took my ASVAB, scored decent, better than I did the first time. Not better than I thought that I could, but enough to where I was able to get all the jobs that was necessary, that I really wanted to get. So maybe if I studied a little bit more, I know this, I probably would have scored a little higher, but was still able to score decently well. Okay, so boom, after the test, scheduled the week after to go to MEPS and do my physical, which they say is the hardest part because, those are the things that you can't really control. And there's a lot of factors that go within it, as far as, being, examined by, the doctor, certain lab tests that you got to take. So there's a lot of factors that go into not being able to, qualify in the physical or the, that part of MEPS. So, that was another stressful thing. Thankful by the grace of God, I was able to get in there, get out. Everything went well. And, by the grace of God, I was able to get out. But I wasn't able to swear in because I did have, I want to say, the thing that was actually stopping me from enlisting the first time was still on there. So, I still had to get a waiver for that. Ended up coming back, but, I knew this in the beginning. My sergeant, my recruiter, did explained to me that I was not going to be able to swear in that day, which is fine. He said, it's fine. You're going to be able to come back later. We do have to get waivers for this, right? So the waivers were sent a week later, which would be now. And, you know, it was sent back because it had to be, there were things that I had to, you know, correct and you know, get specifics about. After that, you know, yesterday it was sent again, and this morning got a text saying, hey, everything was good, ASVAB good, waivers good, physicals good, labs good, everything is good. The only thing that we're waiting for now is for you to swear in and enlist, sign your contract and stuff. So that's where we are right now. I'm very, very, very grateful, very, very happy for this situation. Like I said, I don't know if I want to continue making videos on this channel. I don't know if you guys really care for that, because the videos that do well on this channel are not me speaking about my situations. It's more so about, like, you know, me working out. So I might just keep this as my workout channel, and then later on, you know, create a channel in which that, you know, I can, you know, explain and, you know, motivate and, you know, give my story of how, you know, I was able to get into the military and my story from, you know, moving forwards. But yeah, at this point, the only thing I'm waiting for right now is to enlist, which I do have my date that I'm going, which will be next week. Today. So a week from today would be, no, a week from yesterday would be, so 6 days. I'm gonna go ahead and go into, you know, MEPS and go ahead and swear in. I think that's the only thing that I'm gonna be doing. Swearing in and enlisting and picking, you know, my job and all that stuff, right? So that's amazing. You know, it was a lot that went into it. I was able to explain that in 12 minutes, but trust me, I could write a book about this whole situation. But very, very grateful. Understand that, you know, it is a vehicle, and, you know, it is an honor to serve. So I will do my best to serve the best way that I can, follow all the rules, you know, because this is something that I really wanted to do. And I think it forced me to make sure that this is exactly what I wanted to do. Make sure you do want to do what you want to do, right? Because you will find a way, and people will see it in you that you can, and you will achieve that goal. Don't do any big mistakes. You can come back for some, but some are just too big for mistakes to really come back from. So you got to make sure that you do, you know, carry yourself in a manner that, you know, you won't get in your way, right? But yeah, so next week I will be enlisting. I really can't film anything about the MEPS because that is a rule that they do have. You don't film anything about MEPS, nor can you really talk about what you went through with MEPS. I do talk about my process, but as far as the MEPS thing, you know, you got to make sure that you abide by their rules. And you know, that's one of the biggest things, because a lot of the jobs that is there sometimes, you know, require you to not speak of what you do. So it's actually a good thing, and the first teaching thing that, you know, they see that, you know, you can abide by rules like that. But yeah, listening next week, very, very excited. Hopefully get my ship dates and, you know, my jobs and all that stuff. I think I do have jobs in mind, and, you know, very, very excited to see what, you know, comes about it. Pretty sure I can tell you which jobs that I can get. I'm pretty sure I can tell you the dates that I can go, and yeah, I'm very, very excited with the process. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video.